All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron Penner, and welcome to Story Time.
Story time.
Today, I'm going to be telling you a story about the future. Now, this is a true story, so spoiler warning. If you don't want to know what happens in the future, then just don't listen. Once upon a time, in the future, apocalypse struck. There was zombies. This is a zombie story. And anyways, there was a guy named Fred. And Fred was a courageous man. And let me tell you something about the future, okay? There's zombies. And they're vicious. And also people really care about how they look. You know how back in the past, or now I guess, people do these like eating disorder things and diet things so that they look the same or stay nice and slim? Well, it gets worse. Anyways, in the future, they actually have the cure for the zombie virus. They know what it is, but they don't know how much to take. Now, here's the problem. If you don't take enough, you become a zombie. Essentially. And if you take too much, you get bloated and you look bad. So people just aren't taking the cure because they don't want to look bad. Anyways, so Ed, what did we call him? His name is Ed now. Ed is a courageous man. And he goes on an adventure. He was adventuring one day. And he met this guy named George. George said to Ed, he said, there is this person named Callie. It's a she. Callie's a she, and she is a scientist. And she's an extraordinary scientist, and they said she was the one that originally came up with the cure. George says to Ed, he says, George, you need to find Callie and get her to tell us how much of this stuff to take. Because a few people had got it right? But they couldn't just derive from that how much to take, because every person is a different size. A small person would take this much, and then a bigger person would say, I'm exactly 1.4 times the size of this other person. I'm going to take that much more. It didn't work. He became a zombie. There's tricks to how much you got to take. They didn't know this. George says to Ed, you got to find Callie and get her to teach us how much of this stuff to take. So Ed goes, and he goes west on an adventure down the highway in a vehicle where he smuggled gas from a gas station, just like all the classic zombie films and stories. They predicted the apocalypse quite accurately. Anyways, so he went west and he found Callie's house. And it was in ruins. It was a very sad moment for Ed. And Ed said, What are we gonna do? So he went looking around Callie's house. Terrific Callie, we can call her because she was so extraordinary. Extraordinary Callie the scientist. He found wonderful Callie's laboratory. Now he goes into wonderful or splendid Callie's laboratory. We're going to use different adjectives. He goes into her laboratory and he looks on the ground and he sees a little tattered thingy. And he thought to himself, I know what this is. This is Super Callie's fragile list of exponential dosage. So he picked it up, and then he texted it to all his friends, and that eventually spread to the rest of the world, and everyone was saved. And now everyone knew how much to take. So they could all be cured. Go ahead and go to the Zombie Apocalypse 2013. It's a Nerf game where you shoot zombies for real. They're not real. It's in your head. But in your head, it's real. So go check that out. There should be links in the description. I don't know where it is now, but it's somewhere.
The Zombie Apocalypse 2013.